them, but for head-to-head, if you have to make those determinations down the road, if there are some tiebreakers, you'll see.
Yes,
they did beat up on some of those teams as well.
They have done very well against their teams from the West, struggled against teams from the East for the most part. But they played most of those teams on the road. Okay, Rebel basketball. Last night played here against New Mexico, and this team is crazy. They finished their non-conference schedule with a 12-2 record, so that looked like things were going. And one of the top 5 scoring teams in the nation. And the Rebel basketball team looked to be in pretty good shape to do something good, do something strong, and turn things around this year. Brandon McCoy is a great inside man, big guy, almost 7 feet tall, and can play. He has game. He's a freshman, true freshman. So we'll see how good he can be. Last night, they go and play against New Mexico here, and they lose 85-81 to New Mexico. They have played 5 conference games. 5 conference games. So let's go. So put your hand up in the air. You get 5. Okay, 5 conference games. And 3 at home and 2 on the road. They have lost all 3 at home. They've won the 2 on the road. And the 2 they won on the road, they barely won. One was overtime at San Jose. And that's miserable. That's absolutely miserable that they have come out here in Mountain West play and tossed this brick. It's all there is to it. They should be 5-0 in league play right now. They should be blowing people out. They were at the start of the season one of the top 4 teams. They haven't even played the best teams in the league yet. Well, Boise State. They lost to Boise State here, but they've still got San Diego State and Reno. By the way, they got to play those 2 teams twice, and Boise State at Boise. So they still got a tough schedule right now in Mountain West play, and they are 2-3 right now in the Mountain West. And it's sad to watch. It's unfortunate. It's not what you want to see. The team is very talented but has zero toughness. That's the way I describe this Rebel basketball team. I've described it that way for years. When I say by toughness, in league play, you got to be tougher because that's when your opponents play with more passion, more emotion, tougher, stronger, better, faster, all those things, harder, diving for loose balls. Give somebody a forearm shiver as he comes down the lane. Okay, I'm not saying punch somebody and get in a fight.
yeah. Don't reenact the Detroit Pistons of the '90s.
No, we don't want the bad boys. We don't want Bill Lambier doing this. We don't want that sort of stuff. Dennis Rodman happening. Okay, but be tougher, and they're not that. And the crowds are down. The basketball is down. Can they turn it around? Yeah, they can turn it around, but they got some work to do. They better start now. They better start turning this thing around in a hurry because this team is really struggling right now. Oh, by the way, if you're betting, they are 0-5 against the spread in league play right now. Okay? I like trends, okay? And it might be a place to make a buck or two if it continues, but they have not covered the spread. So the sports books think much higher of them than is reality right now, because that's a crazy little trend right there, and there's a reason for that trend, and the reason is they're playing with no passion, no toughness.
Well, they it's that, and they also don't have a fully rounded team. They are relying on their top scorers to continue to put up points. You have McCoy, who, by the way, is 7 feet tall.
Oh, 7, yeah.
7 feet. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah, he's taking 11.6 shots a game, putting up 18 and a half points, 18.6 points per game. But beyond him, some of their junior players, some of their second line, if you will, they're just not putting up the necessary points, and that's where you can't just rely on the same players over and over. You need to have secondary scorers to have a well-rounded team, and that's one of their bigger problems.
Yeah. Okay, look and dissect the games. I watched the game at San Jose State where they played there. By the way, the ugliest court I've seen in college basketball. Shield your eyes, but do Google that one to find. And I put some on my Twitter. I probably put it on the Vegas Sportscast as well. It's got 4 Spartans courtside, but they look like marshmallow men. And it does not. I don't know if it translates well inside the arena, but it certainly does not translate well on TV. And it just looks like 4 big fat guys with big bellies, and they're supposed to be shields. Anyway, and they dominate half the court. They take over half of the court. Okay, that being said, Rebels go there. San Jose State could be not just the worst team in the Mountain West, probably one of the worst teams in the country. And the Rebels had to come from behind in overtime to win. I never, ever. But I didn't think last year I'd see them lose by 36 at home to Reno.
That was...
and they did.
Yeah, the absolute debacle.
No, that I sat there I shook my head. And I said, the ghost of Jerry Tarkanian right now has way left this building.
And it stings just that much more.
Yes.
When it's Reno that comes to town and wins in your home stadium.
And they could have. And that was with Eric Musselman calling off the Dogs with about 5 minutes left. He could have won by 50 if he had kept just going, just at the same pace he was at. But he slowed it down, and they started running the clock. Because they were scoring at will. Defensively, this team is horrible. And you play defense with toughness. There's a good way to translate it out. Guys, it's easy for guys to play offense. Every guy wants to play offense, right? You want to shoot the ball. You work on that. You work on your shot. You work on that. Defense is toughness. Defense is motivation. Defense is where you really... And this is one thing I learned from Tark, from watching Tark and covering Tark here, is that it was more important for him to have guys play good defensive basketball because the offense would take care of itself, and it did. But you better bust your balls on defense, or you are not playing for a Jerry Tarkanian basketball team. This team doesn't care about defense. No, this team, man. Oh well, doesn't matter. Anthony Bennett, when he was here a few years ago, and was the number one draft pick in the NBA, now is going down in history as the worst number one draft pick in all time in the NBA. It was one and done here. And when he played for the Rebels, he played not a lick of defense. It was like he was always afraid of fouling out. Like, I don't want to get in foul trouble. That's going to hurt my offense. I'm going to have to sit the bench. Here, you want to drive the lane? No, I'll clear a path. Hold on, let me back up a little bit and you come on through. That was Anthony Bennett's defense. Okay, and McCoy is sort of doing the same thing. This team is not tough, and not tough in particular on defense, winning where you have to be. So, there you go. That's Rebel basketball in a nutshell. Anything else going on, Bill, you want to mention?
No, just exciting times all over. I mean, we're only probably a few weeks now away from pitchers reporting for spring training already. I mean, it's crazy.
Go Dodger Blue.
A couple weeks away from the Super Bowl. Obviously, right now we're in one of the hottest parts of hockey season. Moving forward. So I mean, it's an exciting time in sports overall, especially for Vegas sports, and still have a few years. Obviously, they broke ground on the Raiders Stadium. Still have a few years for that. They settled on
They broke ground, but they haven't done anything yet, by the way.
That's true.
They've done nothing.
They literally put a shovel in the ground, but it's there. and they had a great fireworks show and some illegal drone flights over it.
Yes, a little close to the airport, folks.
But obviously their practice field was determined out in Henderson, so with their headquarters, so they're going to be out there in Henderson. So that's on the horizon, obviously, and a lot of people are excited to see the Raiders come here. Hopefully one day we'll get a real basketball team. Hey, maybe we can just recruit a whole different college basketball team instead of getting an NBA team. Well, let's.
I like the passion of college basketball better than the NBA. The NBA bores me at times. Maybe it's because the Lakers suck right now, but it does still sort of bore me in that it really is not. They don't play with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. Okay, you get the last 4 minutes of a regular season game, and maybe they'll play last 2 to 4 minutes. They'll play hard. But they just don't. They don't have to. It's not required, and they walk the ball up and they take their time, and so that's the NBA, and it's hard to watch that, especially after you watch hockey, because there is no downtime in hockey.
You're right.
There's no downtime when you're running lines and you're doing the shift, and you got guys in there. You got 45 seconds to do what you're going to do. You are not. There's no speed other than full on balls to the wall. And that you watch enough of that as I have now. I've been to virtually every home game here with the Knights, and they're fun to watch. And I've been a hockey fan from way back, so that was easy for me to it wasn't even a transition. Easy for me to say this now. So, And it's it's a fun time in Vegas. It's a fun time. Chucky's coming out as the coach. So we've got John Gruden here. See what will happen with that for the Raiders. And
leaving his cushy job as an analyst to come and coach with a 10-year deal.
Yeah, $10 million a year for 10 years. Good for him, I guess. I hope he's worth it. It's going to be okay. They better perform.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Absolutely. So
better do the job.
But yeah, that's all I got. And do you want me to plug the?
Plug it.
So we got find us on our website at www.thevegasportscast.com. We are on iTunes, Android, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. And what else are we on?
Our websites, the Vegas Sportscast.
Or you can listen to it right on the Vegas Sportscast. Obviously, you're listening right now because you're hearing me say this. But if you're looking for different venues, or if you're really holding on to that iPhone, thinking you can only listen to us on the iPhone, go ahead, sell the iPhone, get an Android. You can find us there as well. You don't have to worry. I know a lot of people are just holding out, keeping their old devices because they want to make sure that they don't lose the chance to listen to us. But now I'm back. The fan base is going to come back, Ron. Everybody's been clamoring for me. That where's Bill? Where's Bill?
No, I've heard it. Come on now. I've heard it. I saw somebody was air riding with an airplane the other day. Where's Bill?
Ron goes out in town. I mean, Ron's on TV and all, but Bill's sort of I'm sort of a big deal around town as well. So a lot of people ask about me. So I'm back. Don't worry. We just got to find time to get together. But we'll still continue dailies. Ron's been doing a ton of dailies. I'm going to get back into it. It's my apologies. Life has been hectic and crazy, but we'll talk more.
Feel free to do on Sunday if you want. Get on if you're if the Patriots lose, you won't be wanting to see. Yeah, let's say they're not going to lose. You'll be fine to celebrate the Patriot win. Okay, quick picks. I'm going Patriots against Men. I'm taking the two favorites, so we're going to see if Patriots. No, I don't want Minnesota. I'm taking Philadelphia. I want Minnesota, but I think Philadelphia is going to win this game at home. So I've got a Tom Brady versus Nick Foles Super Bowl.
I have Tom Brady against Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Yep, it's against Keenum. It's going to be Minnesota. I just think that they have more well-rounded team both on offense and defense as opposed to Philly. Philly has to make up a lot for Nick Foles. There's a lot that has to be said.
Yeah.
So moving the ball, they have to be more than just a one-dimensional team. But I'm going to take the Patriots for obvious reasons. I think the vast majority of America is taking the Patriots. But I'm going to take the Patriots and I'm going to take Minnesota on that one. And I have not seen what the over-under is for either of those games. So do you know the stat lines for over-under?
I think 47 for the early game, for the Patriots game, and 41. It's a lower number for the NFC game, if my memory serves me well. But Patriots are 9-point favorites. I do know that. And at last check. And with, Minnesota, 3-point favorites playing at Philadelphia. So interesting mix right there. So
awesome.
That should do it. All right. That's the way we see it. This is Vegas Sportscast. For Bill O'Donnell, I'm Ron Futrell. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye for now.